Hey, everybody. Welcome back to KF&JF podcast. Like I said before, this is one of those times when we've been just excited about the people that we're getting on the show lately. And I'm really excited about this guest right here. She's done so much to her community and she has so much to tell us about her products. And one of those times when you think about it, you wonder what people do out there and you wonder how they come to building themselves up in the community through their products. But I'm going to allow that to be her introduction and let her tell that story. But I'm going to kick it over to my co-host, Razak.
Hello, everybody. I am the CEO and founder of United Minority Business Ventures. My company assists in the creation and maintenance of your business by forming opportunities to communicate and collaborate with your followers, subscribers, and other business owners. We use a wide range of networking tools and a method to achieve results. We assist in the ideas associated with social media marketing, building your marketing profile, creating your marketing strategy, and building your financial profile for your business. We also assist in branding your product or your merchandise. We may also determine what licenses are needed to operate your business. And if you're buying into a domain or if you're trying to own your own domain, we also assist in managing your website by selecting posts that create subscriptions, comments, and likes, or by generating comments on another individual's business site or page that create a dialogue of conversation directed towards your page. We also help navigate through the thousands of companies that ask for a fee when there's companies out there that will do it for free. And I'd just like to say, Jess, it was a pleasure and to have you on the podcast today.
All right, blessings. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to share everything I have in store, everything that's coming, and my recent launch with. I am the CEO of QD Scrubs. I'm here to let everyone know that I have a line that is not just appealing, but it is also comfortable for all of my healthcare workers out there. It is medical apparel and daily apparel, and it's not just for the medical field, but it's all for all that wants to have comfort and looking good while doing good as well. So, thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so excited about having you here too. I think one of the things that we're going to get into about your field is just so exciting. It gives everybody an opportunity to learn about what goes into providing scrubs in that way. So I think one of the things I want to figure out is tell us a little bit about your journey, your background, a little bit about that. Can you let us know a little bit?
Absolutely. So, I've been in the healthcare field for about 15 years now. I've held different positions and certifications and licenses in this field. And while moving around, I'll have the same common factor. I would love to look good while doing good for my community. And so that is a kind of how QD Scrubs came about. QD in the medical field does mean daily. So I wanted these daily scrubs to represent not only professionalism, but a fashion sense that I can look good while doing good for others, because that's what we basically do every day.
Right, right.
Wow, like that's like one of those things about I didn't know what QD mean. I thought it was another, meant something else. But when you say it that way, it's really is a daily thing that everybody knows about when you're in that field working and stuff like that. How you have to represent yourself and the importance. When you have scrubs on, not everybody. If you don't have your scrubs on, you got problems. Doctor be like, "Where's
Right.
your with no scrubs on?" And that you're like, what? So what kind of one of the things that motivates you in this industry and keeps you going?
Well, what keeps me going is know that I am a peer representation, and I'm also an advocate for my community being served correctly, properly, and receiving the care that they need and also deserve. I give them a sense of integrity when they are at their most vulnerable moments. So that really inspires me to keep going, even when the job just seems just too hard. That's what keeps me going. Know that I'm doing something for my elders, for my babies. I call everybody my baby. It's a passion that I have. I've always been passionate about people, and I'm always passionate about health. So I've just put two and two together.
Well, that help part is the part that everybody, don't have. A lot of people don't want to be going around helping people. So the biggest thing they do is want to be out and be negative about certain situations. So it takes a special person and someone that has that temperament to be able to work with other people in doing that. So I find that that's something that usually I don't know if you see a difference between men and women that are in your field. Do you notice anything about that as far as how they work with patients?
No, there's not a difference. I see there is a difference when they're doing it for monetary reasons and they really care about their patients. Not so much male and female is, do you care? At the end of the day, and compassion is at the top of the list. I know so many compassionate male nurses and physicians as well as assistants, as just as much as women who are in this healthcare field for compassionate reasons versus monetary. So that's the more of a compare contrast rather than male and female.
Right, right. I think that that makes sense too as far as that. So give us a little bit of an update of what you're working on, girl. Just talk to us a little bit about that.
So I'm currently working on more collections, getting more colors out there, and also I'm excited to get just a more fashionable sense of wearing the apparel. Because as I stated previously, QD is for daily. It means daily in the healthcare field. So I want you to look good every day and have different options. So I'm excited to get that out. And we have way more to come. So just stay tuned with QD Scrubs. I'm really excited to get this out there to everyone.
Well, like you say, when we went on and looked at your website and all the different things that you got out there, man, we were just excited to see all that product out there and all of it. And in your video, I mean, your pictures are so, universal for all different sizes, all different people, and things like that. I think that that was just unique in that way that you're able to get the product to fit everyone, not just so much that, small, medium, and large. It's just
Yes,
everyone that that's out there that that's in that industry because there are all kinds of fits and sizes that are out there. So tell us a
yes.
fact about yourself that you have not told anybody else yet. We're looking for that. So go ahead and tell us.
Well, I hold over 10 licenses and certifications in the healthcare field. I'm always looking to learn. So if there's an opportunity to be certified in something, I'm jumping on it. When I have shown my resume or say where I work, everyone is so surprised. He's like, you're pretty young, but I love to learn. So I'm certified in a lot of different specialties.
Why don't you list some of those and so people can get an idea that the work you put in, not only for yourself and your field, but to have all of that experience to be able to work in all these different fields. Also have to you also have a business that you're running. So there's got to be some nights with no sleep.
Oh, absolutely. Team no sleep is an understatement. So I'm certified. I have a pharmacy tech license. Also, I'm a phlebotomist. I'm also surgical tech. Also, a medical assistant, CNA. I have a lot of certificates and licenses, just to name a few.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Do you find that you have an interest in one versus some of the others? Is it any of them that kind of brings you to a better place when you're working, yeah, or is it ones that are creates more stress for you?
They're all stressful. They have, every specialty has their highs and lows, of course. That's why it's hard for me to just pick one. I want to say my emotionally, when I worked in cardiology with our heart transplant patients, I want to say emotionally that was a tough one because it brought light to me about um, classism is real, and where you are, how poor and rich, it definitely does determine your care. And that was hard for me because it's just like, wait, this person needs this, and it's just like, well, they don't have the money for it, and it's just, I was like, wow, this really happened. So that was an emotional strain for me. But I did also like aesthetic surgery because I learned so much about the anatomy of the body, believe it or not, with aesthetic surgery. So I guess, you know what, I would lean towards surgery. I love surgery
Wow,
because you see the body in its rare form. Like, I mean,
yeah.
to the nitty gritty. So, and I really like that. So,
Yeah.
So what was some
Sight
of
of
the
blood don't make you faint, huh?
yeah,
no, no, not at all. I can eat lunch, and I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I take a special gut to do that, to be able to just go to surgery and come back and say,
I wanted to jump in real quick and ask you about that, because this whole time you was talking about this time you have, I keep thinking about you're a first responder, right?
yes,
It's during the pandemic, there was like, we was looking on the news, there was bodies all over the place, the hospitals was overran, and you worked at that time, and I just wanted to see, like, what challenges and situations that you faced during that time, and how did you overcome them? Because I would think, even though you have all these things, and you've been in there, you've been used to seeing them, with the surgical and all that type of stuff, but was that like an overwhelming time? Was it like a more pressure than you ever felt before type of time?
honestly, I want to say yes and no at the same time because being a person of color, being black, we've always been affected by health, like at serious numbers. So that was just an added factor. Yeah, the hospitals were full, but we've it's always been full with us. And to me, it's always been dire with us. So it really, the COVID thing, it didn't really scare me. It was just like, I just need everybody to pay attention that your health is very important. As far as the sick and the ill, I just never steered away from it. It's always been challenging like that to me. That's just my own experience. It's always been overcrowded. It's always been, understaffed and overworked. I haven't had an encounter where it was really smooth and where we had enough staffing to help out. Like, it's to me, it's always been like this. It's just now it affected everyone, not just us.
wow, wow, when you were talking about the part where you found out that money is a part of this gig. Money plays a big role in health. That's how you're going to get it, what you're going to be able to get, whether you get a band-aid or you just get some gauze. So how did you see that? I mean, you talked a little bit about it, but that's got to be a hard thing to accept when you got access, right, to some of the medications to help and band-aids and whatever, some of those things. But people just can't even afford to get those things. So how did you balance that with your feelings and all?
I've always been an advocate, so if something is wrong, I say something. So sometimes I'll be the only black person in the meetings, or I would be the only nurse in the meeting that, wait, that doesn't sound right. They're 97 and we have a 12-year-old here, but because they're on Medi-Cal, they can't be the recipient of the heart. And the 97-year-old is like, I'm cool, I'm okay. And the family's like, no, 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 we need him alive because we need him to keep signing these checks. And then they give it to that recipient, and the poor 12-year-old is without care. It's just like, well, it was heartbreaking. So, or because they donated to the hospital, they get XYZ. But the 4-year-old whose mother unfortunately did all she could, but she doesn't have $40,000 lying around. They get the end of
Wow.
the stick to wait.
Wow. I mean, I think that that's something that what I find to be heartbreaking in the hospital, because it's just, it's so much that needs to be said, but not everybody's saying anything. All they doing is just going with the flow, and people are dying and dying by the wayside, and that's because healthcare is a big part of what's this country, in a way, have neglected itself to take care of. So I'm proud of you for being out there and doing that. So I guess I was going to ask you a little bit about what inspired you and all of that, but I guess I've already answered. You've already answered all that. But tell me a little bit about where you see yourself in the next 5 years in the trade that you're in. What are some of the goals you have for where you want to go in the healthcare industry?
To have my master's in nursing, and but also teach. I would love to be a teacher and just teach training in the importance of trade and the importance of also having work experience. So I kind of would love to speak about that and speak about how to have compassion prior to just entering the field of nursing, just gun ho jumping into it, because a lot of nurses see that it's not, what they expect, because they don't have that compassion part. So I would love to do that. And I would love to see Cutie Scrub go nationwide and reach everyone and just be a reputable brand, like all across the board. Um, just just pretty much explode. I would love to see Cutie Scrubs explode into an awesome brand for the community, not just Los Angeles, but nationwide, and just see people really be proud to wear Cutie Scrubs and just be proud to be a part of Cutie Wear, because I really want everyone to be a part of it. Just like you said on my website, it's for all sizes. We didn't want to exclude anyone because all body sizes are different. We're all different. So I didn't want to exclude anyone. I didn't want to exclude the petites. I didn't want to exclude the talls, the shorts, the people, the just anybody. I didn't want it to be exclusive. So I want everybody to have the scrubs in their closet. I didn't even want to exclude just those to just the healthcare field, but I wanted everyone who wears uniform for it to be accessible to them. So hopefully it just touches everyone within the next 5 years.
Wow, wow. One of the other questions I was thinking is for business, how did you, are you trademarking it, or what are you doing in the business world to bring your product to a better, stable place?
Oh, absolutely. Trademark, and our collections are copywritten as well. I think that is very, very, very important. I also want to speak about, like, for entrepreneurs, how to do business correctly. Like, just even if your website is not up, make sure your paperwork is right. Like, and everyone really thinks that a business just happens overnight. It doesn't, and it's not free. You do have to invest in yourself. So, and that doesn't just mean monetary. Like, you have to put the work in. So I also would like to get the word out about that, about really what to expect when you're beginning a business, and to not give up. You really have to have a Mamba mentality when it comes to business.
I say you go ahead on and tell them about that right now, because that's part of what you're doing in this podcast is about, is uplifting those people who are at the bottom, right? They're trying to start their business, but what are they doing? They're sitting on the couch, or they're on their phones trying to figure it out, but they don't really understand the hard work. And the big part that you mentioned was the financing of your business. You got to put something forward into it, and you may not see nothing for a minute. It's the fact that
Yeah.
if you're consistent and doing what you're doing, eventually things start to come around. So dig into that a little bit, because I know when I see your store and everything, it's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot because it's been blood, sweat, and tears. And starting a business, you will question yourself, like, what am I doing? Is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. If you believe in yourself, it is definitely worth it. It will always be worth it, because this is something that no one can take away from you. No one can take away the dedication and determination that you have. I've done this. I'm doing this with a full-time job as a mother, and I what I really love about it is the work that I and the testimony that's behind my journey. I get up every day and I put in time to my business because I believe in it. So, if you have that belief, you definitely will succeed. It is not overnight. It is not even a few months and you just take off. I've noticed that a lot of people have like that microwave mentality where you just put it
Hmm.
in for 30 seconds and boom, but it does not work like that.
You know, you're
So
you're,
it's
you're
it's a
absolutely right
long,
with
long
that.
term work.
Yes, this is definitely long term.
So, what are some of the hindsights and setbacks you may have came out or experienced during this time of building your company and coming to a place where you are today?
Well, doing everything out of independently and out of pocket. Like I said, I have a full-time job. So my full-time job is actually assisting my business. I don't have a business investor. So, I have to take my time and budget accordingly. So that is I don't want to call it a setback, it's just a reality. How much am I willing to put into myself? So I'm working a full-time job as well as getting my business off the ground. I'm exposing myself, giving myself more exposure because I'm a private person. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. And to me, that is the hardest thing for me. Really letting everyone know what I see, which is this is an amazing product. You guys have to get behind this and really, you'll really love it. I'm not too much of a salesperson. I'm not a salesperson at all. So just stepping out of the box and stepping out of your comfort zone to convince others um, to believe in something that you believe in is also challenging, but it can be done.
Okay.
Wow. So I'm wondering, stepping out of your comfort zone is one of those things that you say you're not a salesperson, and how do you get all of that stuff done? Then are you relying on other people, or are you just taking chances every time you meet somebody and say, well, you know what, I'm gonna talk to them.
That right there. I do that right there. I get Nike. I just do it. I'm like, because if you overthink it, you'll miss your opportunity. So it's just like I just take a breath and I say go, and I provide them with either my social media or I just start talking about it, and I wear my brand because I believe in my brand. So everywhere I go, you're gonna see me in QD scrubs. So once they see it and okay, my goodness, yeah, it looks amazing. Okay, well, this is my brand, and I just go from there. And it's also an exercise with communication because we don't communicate that way anymore. So it just helps me and helps me grow. So just starting a new business will help you grow and elevate in ways and personal development as well.
Wow. Bye.
Hey everyone, I'm back and I wanted to show you exactly what to expect when making a purchase with cutiewear.com. I do have two different collections at the moment, burgundy and black. Our collection comes, our burgundy collection comes with our around the clock straight leg pants. It is petite and tall girl friendly. And here is the around the clock pants. It comes with a four-way pocket for your storage needs. And it also comes with our sole one pocket scrub top. I am also wearing the collection as we speak. And I also have the zippered jacket, scrub jacket, that also attains a lot of storage. Our black collection comes with our Trinity 3 top scrub pocket. It's also very comforting, very dry fit for all of your temperature needs. And here is our PRN joggers, very fashion forward. And it also has a total of the 6 pocket for all of your storage needs as well. We are currently working on getting more colors as well as more collections for all of your daily wear.
What are the main challenges facing your industry right now, as far as like making scrubs and things?
Well, the main challenge is finding something that is comforting, that you actually would like to wear, and affordability of it all. Because
As I was looking at you right here, I was thinking like, as a woman of color, like what I mean, we with the women have different body shapes. So you had the slim, thick. You have different sizes. How did you go about tailoring? Are they more for? I mean, were they for nurses everywhere of every color? But as a woman of color, what was it more difficult to maybe find materials or try to weigh how do you size them for like color, as far as like sizes of black women versus the other nationalities?
it's definitely challenging, absolutely. However, I knew the need for it, so I wouldn't take, oh, we only can do this size. No, 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 no. Everyone needs to be in these scrubs. And stretch is so important to me because we have different sizes. And I want it to be comfortable. And I also want women to be confident with it because here in the United States, we are all shapes and sizes. It is not one size fits all. So I wanted to make sure that this brand represents that. So it was definitely challenging, but I wouldn't take no for an answer until everyone can get in this.
I think you're
How,
right
how do you
about
how do
that.
you stay informed? How do you stay informed about the industry trends? I mean, is there like I know this is might be. I mean, I never really thought about it before until we met you right now. But is there like a trend? Is there like a actual fashion to how you're marketing and how you're creating and designing your scrubs?
There are absolutely the trend. Yes, there are absolutely trends. However, in any sense of fashion, you would not want to be a trendsetter. So the trend now is the joggers. That is like the medical field phenom right now. Everyone likes the joggers. They like the tailored fit. So that's the new phenom right now. But it's also different things. How can I be unique in this industry as well as have a need? Everyone will want to wear these. Well, because and the number one thing is comfort.
Right. Mm. Can you share a specific way in which you aim to positively impact the lives of others with your product, with your merchandise?
Well, number one, making sure they're included, making sure that they are confident in the scrubs and that they feel good in the scrubs, and to make sure that they are heard. I want to involve my customers into basically, I want to know what they want. In what colors do you guys want to see? What other fashion for? What do you guys want to wear? Because at the end of the day, you are what makes the brand what it is, and I want to make sure that they are heard, as well as providing optimal customer service because that's also seems scarce right now. especially when we're kind of combating AI between actual people. I want to make sure that they are heard and that they have great customer service.
You know, my
Right.
question is this: just right off the book, do you guys do hats? Do you have anything that for the doctor put on there? Look, you
We
know,
don't have surgical hats at the moment, but that doesn't mean we will not have them in the future.
right on. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I want to make sure that them doctors ain't left out walking around them hats, even if they
That's
try.
right. We hear you. We hear you. Yeah. If definitely that is definitely a need that we are going to pay attention to and do our best to make sure it gets out.
All right, Razak.
Is there how should I ask this? Is there a particular life lesson that you've learned that you would want to pass on to others in your experience of not only working as a nurse and going through the training to get your certifications and actually creating a business and everything's also something that you're doing for to help others. Is there a life lesson that you can pass on to others about how you're humbled yourself and made yourself a provider for others?
Absolutely. When in doubt, I mean, number one, put God first. Put God first in all you do. You know that was what helped me, and you your ambition and determination can take you further than anything else. Also, have a mentor. If you can't put yourself in spaces because of monetary reason, try to find a mentor who's doing the same thing as you and listen and take notes. You know, you can I'm always a humbled listener, and being a humble listener, you'll find people, God will put people in that around you to where you're supposed to listen to them, and that'll take you so much further than not being humble and thinking you know it all. Because in this business, you'll always there, not even in business, but in life itself, you'll always find someone who knows more than you, who has more than you. So sometimes you need to take notes and be humble and listen.
Well, let's talk about that part that you mentioned, and I don't want to leave that out because you mentioned it. Who are your role
Right.
models? Who are the people that you see that has influenced you in a way where it keeps you going and also, you know, lift you up in a way where you think that, you know what, I can do this.
Oh, absolutely. So my role models. One of my role models, of course, will be my mother. She really exemplified, yes, you work hard. However, there's always a space to help others. She did that for me when I was really young. She showed me that dedicating some type of service to others who are either less fortunate or don't have the access or don't have the knowledge, that God bless you with, you can bless others. So she
Wow.
Right.
definitely helped me with that.
I think that that's one of those things that we find that, you know, it's usually everything's done at home. You know, you learn a lot from home, but sometimes there are other people out there that's outside of the home that you pick up and learn stuff from too as well. So I'm really proud that you brought that into the table, that you were influenced by your mom. What do you
Yeah.
think was that?
I have other leaders who I was definitely inspired by. I was definitely inspired by Lou Danzler, who was the founder of the Challengers Boys and Girls Club. I was also one of my role models is Florence Blackwell, who owned a dance company, and she made sure that not only was professional dance attainable and accessible. However, it taught discipline and strength and made it affordable for mothers and fathers and just families of color. They were really great role models for me as well. Lou Dansler started a business just by putting 8 boys from the neighborhood in a truck and turned it into just a wonderful business, successful that a lot of um, a lot of my peers in the community utilize, a lot of parents utilize that I wish we definitely had today because I was able to experience things as a child that I would definitely have no knowledge or access to.
Wow,
Right.
wow. if you're comfortable the way you are, that's great, And so I guess I would ask you, what are some of your bucket lists? What's on that bucket list?
My bucket list, definitely traveling and experiencing different countries more. I was a young mother, so now that my children are older, I would love to travel with them and have different experiences in different countries. That's one. I also would love to have different programs for my peers and those that are younger than myself, my daughter's age, just to teach business, also financial literacy, as well as different trades or job opportunities, and just get some knowledge out to my communities. That's also on my bucket list. I would love to do more drives and more just providing community homes. That's definitely that's another thing on my bucket list. Just getting people in homes and becoming homeowners and making sure that is a goal, not just a dream. It's just more community things that are on my bucket list. I also would love to see my scrubs and cutie wear in department stores and just being the face of medical apparel. That's definitely on the bucket list.
Regarding legacy.
And it is important to carry on that legacy with my three children. I mean, I say that almost every day. Your legacy is so important, and what you want to leave behind is important as well. Not just generational wealth, but integrity and having great character. That's a part of your legacy as well. Because when I go to funerals and or I want to say celebrations of life, and hearing people's stories about how the loved ones that they lost impacted their lives and how they helped them, when no one was watching, like that's a part of your legacy as well. So having great character and integrity and making sure that you carry that on and pass that down is so important to me.
How do your kids and the family see you and your business? Are they proud of you? Are they, some one of the things we've talked about before with businesses, not everybody is on your side, right? Not everybody is looking to see you do good. So talk a little bit about how your family and your friends and everybody around you have, either you have some you have to push away because they're not riding on the ship with you, or some of them that is just like, on the ship and you're going to move with them.
Thankfully, my family has been very supportive because early on, I've always been business oriented and I've always been focus driven. So they know they got to get with the program. So luckily, my family has been very supportive. My children have always been supportive, even when they were young. My daughter, who is my oldest, she would assist me in every way I can. She's assisted me to the point where, she's basically helping me with different seminars. She's learning what I learned to where she wants to major in business as well when she attends college. So she's always been so supportive. Um, my man is very supportive of our business. Like I bring family into everything that I do, and luckily that they're on board. And luckily, I also have friends who are also entrepreneurs doing wonderful things. So I have a really great circle. So it's important to either always have like-minded people around you, and any distractions, unfortunately, you do have to remove yourself. I mean, you can still be available for, fun if you have time, but if they don't share the same vision, value, or goals, you have to be okay with removing yourself or distancing yourself.
Is that something that you find that's caused you any problems doing your with your business or anything like that?
No, because my personality is, if you're not on what I'm on, I don't need to be around you anyway. So it's been a little easier for me.
I knew that was gonna come out. I was just trying to push it out. I was gonna say, you're gonna show us that part that everybody's trying to, say is a stereotype. But I know, you can't be messing with these black women, boy. You mess around, and you find out right away. You got if you ain't on this ship, you're gonna get kicked off. You try to get on here with any,
Exactly.
Right. So okay, I don't have to go through all that.
You bring your A game or don't come to the game. Just don't come at all.
Right.
What she say? Bring your A game, if you otherwise don't come to the game. So
What's
your networking like out there? How do you network? What are some of the things in your networking relationships? How do you do that while you're out there? Is it just work mainly, or are you finding other ways that you're being able to network, like even what you're doing now?
Well, yes, what I'm doing now is very important. Just focusing on getting the word out there. And thank you so much for this wonderful platform. That's really important to get out the word out there in this type of way. I mean, social media is so big right now. I don't even want to say now, like that's the age that we're in. And I have finally acknowledged that, because it took a while for me to even acknowledge. But it is the community, and that's another way to network. Word of mouth has been working really well for me, but it's always important to keep learning what is best for you, and moving forward, what is the way to be exposed, and that is basically social and being on platforms such as this.
We greatly appreciate
advertisement.
That. Yeah. So the future holds what for you personally, and what your future holding for your business? How do you see that as something that's going to? I know there's a lot of other probably companies that you're competing with, and how do you find your place in that, and as you grow in your future business, as your business grows?
So, as my business grows, it's because, we do have so many giants in this industry, that if you overthink it, you have to do baby steps. You know what I mean? Like, it's really important to celebrate your accomplishments step by step to get to that level with them. I really don't see like competition potential. I always see collaboration potential. So it's like, okay, eventually they're gonna want to collab with me because my product is just so amazing, and my brand is just so amazing. I'm gonna pull up a table and a chair and have a seat. So I want to focus on who I'm selling to. I want to focus on my customers and really listen to them, because they are really the focal point. Um, I don't pay attention to competition, and I don't see anybody as competition. My thing is, I gotta touch people who's gonna love it, and
Right.
I'm confident that everyone is gonna love it. To where, no, it's not no competition. We gotta work with her.
Wow, you say some good stuff there. She's gonna
confidence right there. There's confidence.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. You're gonna pull up a chair, and you're gonna put the legs on the chair. You're gonna have the chair. Everything's gonna be ready, because you there to stay. And
That's right.
that's a powerful thing for a young black lady to be able to feel. But you're in that industry where you have to, it instills that kind of strength, right? Because you're seeing a lot, you're doing a lot, you're responsible for a lot. So you just taking all that to your business mindset, you know what I mean? And operating in that same way. So I'm really excited about that. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the things you take away from the conversation you've had so far, and some of the insights you may have?
Some of the insight that I have on this platform today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, I really think that the questions are really amazing, because it just segues into more in-depth questions, which I really enjoy because it's what people need to hear. They need to hear, someone who is like them, that is attainable and reachable and relatable, that there is something amazing that I'm doing. You can do it as well. You can do it. It's best to be realistic and relatable because there's so many people out there, especially with social media, who are not relatable because they only put out the good things and the positive things. They don't put out, when they're suffering or how many times they failed. For me, I a failure is a blessing as well because it's a lesson. So to see somebody that is relatable on a platform and it's like, hey, I'll do that. Oh, I work a job as well. Oh, I can do a business. It's great to know and put out there.
I think that's the biggest point you can make. From our point of view, I think that is just um, what we're trying to say is that we need to show people that look like them going through those situations, having those circumstances where they have doubt about where they're going and how they're going to run their business and whatnot. And I think my next question was going to be, what could you give advice to about, and some wisdom to our people and our viewers out there. But you pretty much said that. You pretty much laid that out for us, and that's what's so like, man, she jumped right into that, and I can appreciate that, and I'm almost just kind of having a flashback on my sisters and how important it was. So how do your brothers, if you have any, see you in the business?
Well, I'm an only child, so it's just me. But I do have, like I said, friends that are near and dear to my heart. And they really are loving what I'm doing. They are really encouraging me and pushing me to continue on this journey because sometimes like I have ideas so big and I'm like, I want to do this and that. And they don't discourage me. So it's really important to have a good circle that won't discourage you, but will say you can do that. It's not far fetched. And it's really important, even if because like I said, my family's small. I come from a very small family. I'm an only child, so I really don't have any siblings. But those that are in my circle never told me no. Like, girl, you crazy, you tripping. I've never heard that. It's how can we get it done? How
Wow.
can we do that? And that's what you need in your circle.
Yeah.
I think
Nothing is
Motivation. A push to strive forward
hmm
instead of focusing on the obstacles that's in front of you. You just think of
right.
ways to get around those obstacles or get through them.
Exactly. Because even when I speak with others, sometimes strangers, like I mean, it's crazy. Strangers tell me their most in-depth secrets sometimes and not. And so I'm like, okay, well, how can we get it done? How are you gonna get it done? Let's do it. And they're like, what? I can't really do that. I said you said you wanted to do it, so let's get it done. So that's my big thing.
wow.
You have to believe in yourself because it is possible. Without anything is possible. It is truly possible. And your life is a testimony and you have a purpose. No purpose is small. So
Well,
we
you
really
show that. You show that through what you're doing right now. You showing all that you have God on your side, and that you've been walking by faith and doing the things that you're doing. And like I said, we're proud of it. So, Razak, go ahead. I know you have some questions you would like to ask.
Well, there was two questions I was actually thinking about right now. One was okay, so let's take it back a little bit. As you're coming up in the medical field and you're becoming a nurse, as far as in the Black community, minority community, what are some of the things that you feel maybe are missing as far as representation as nurses and doctors that they may need to know, or they're not informed how easy or how to go about becoming a nurse, or if they want to get involved in the field? How would you
um, I'm
inspire somebody or tell
I'm
them about
so glad you said that because that's one thing on my bucket list. Just getting the knowledge out there and letting them know that these things are attainable. I don't care if you're a young mother, a young father, Are you've been in the system in the past or whatever. Like, you can make it happen for yourself, and we need representation out there. And we also need to get healthy. Like, the my thing is, we're on so many drugs and we're so reliant on physicians. I really want us to be independent and take care of ourselves. And also, sometimes I've been the only Black person in plenty of practices, and I've always been an advocate. We need to see a little bit more of. I need to see some more people that look like me, because our care is different, and so our patients are feel better when it's somebody that looks like them. So we need to get into this field. It is so important. We need more Black doctors. We need more Black nurses. We need more Black associates. We need more Black CN. We need it. We need the representation. And that was another thing. I kind of grew tired of being the only Black person in the room. I really got tired of that, and I really would advocate. Can I have some more people that look like me? And it matters. It matters. And also, we definitely have to speak up. That's another thing. We have to speak up and say, I don't think that's right. We have to speak up for ourselves as well. Like, it's so important, because there's definitely a gap. I know it's 2024, but there's still a lot of progress made in the medical field.
Wow, you're right.
And the other question I was going to ask you was, okay, so I'm just wondering about the family dynamics of it all. I think you touched on it earlier, but I like to kind of give it a little, if you could maybe dig a little deeper. And so a lot of the Black families in the Black communities, they're always broken up and stuff. So their mom becomes father and everybody. You know what I mean? So you're taking on more and multiple roles, and then you went to school and you got all these things, and then you're having a business. You know what I mean? Uh, for the youth right now that may not appreciate what their parents are doing for them, how can you like be like a sort of I don't even know what to say, how could you inform them how they need to look for at their parent, at their grandparents, at their family members, as the role models, as the people that they strive to be like, versus somebody who they don't know, like a superstar, or somebody who don't know them from Adam or something like that? How would you approach that subject?
Well, with my children, I have always been very involved. And I want to shout out the dads that, like, our Black fathers are really breaking generational curses out here, and generational issues, because the Black dads have been really stepping up. And I'm so proud. They really have. So honestly, with me, I'm very involved with my children, and I make sure they are involved in what I'm doing. And what's important and what I learned, you may think they're not appreciative. Listen to the conversations they're having with their friends. You'll hear and see that what you're exemplifying is going to showcase in their future. You may think you're doing it wrong, but a couple of conversations that that I've heard with, like, my daughter or my son, I'm doing a good job, because they'll be like, no, 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 you have to work hard. My mom, she works hard. We're not taking no mess. I have to get these good grades so that I can do X, Y, Z. You need a plan, and it's so important. And you're like, okay, all right, they do get it, because generations, they don't show it all the time, but amongst their peers, they'll let you know that they're listening. So it's, you have to involve them. When I was going to school, I would have them pull out flashcards, and they would help me with my exams. I put my kids in extracurricular activities. My kids sometimes would have games, one at 11, one at 11:30. One, two different practices, making it happen. But it helps them with discipline and strength. And while I'm studying in the car, and they see that. So you have to show up for yourself, and it'll feed off into your family.
Right.
Right.
We applaud you. We applaud you. Your leadership and your
We really
strength.
do. We really do. Because that's one of those things that as a in the black community that we've been trying to instill more of, and
Yeah,
showing that, you don't have to look at the rapper, or you don't have to look at this guy in the movies. You should be looking at the people right around you, and the people that you see
absolutely.
working every day, getting up to go to work and coming home and tired and cooking your food.
That's
So
right. Like I told my son, he's an amazing athlete. My son is an amazing athlete. He's special. But what I also tell him, I don't care what you do on the field, off the field. God gave you that given right talent, but you need to know how to read these contracts.
Right.
You need to read. You need to know what you're doing, and you be knowledgeable because who knows, you may be a neurosurgeon. So it's important to instill value as well, and let them know who they are young. Let them know who they are, because you'll be bigger than just a football player. You're bigger than just a rapper. You're so much more. And if you instill value into your children, they'll know that too.
Right.
I'm almost going to have you tell us that again, because I really think that there's a couple out there that didn't hear you. Can you just say that again?
Yeah, you really do need to instill value in your children. Let them know who they are. Let them read about it. And that's another thing. Like, I think our community, we need to read. It is so important to read who you are, where you come from, really know your history, because it'll change who you are. You'll be confident in who you are, and you know your value. You gotta know your value, and so you can show that off to your kids. If you take care of yourself, your kids will know that they need to take care of you and take care of the family as well.
Well, you definitely said the right things there for all of us to do. So let me take a moment to just have you introduce your business email, your business information to the audience.
Okay, you guys. So please go visit, take a look, shop at qdwear.com. That's Q as in Queen, D as in Doctor, wear.com. And I am available. I'm in Los Angeles. You can email me at care@qdwear.com. And you can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Shop QD Scrubs. I'm also on Facebook as QD Scrubs as well.
That is beautiful, beautiful. Razak, you got some questions in toward the end here. I just think that she's a standout woman, and she's a standout business owner. She's a standout community work, supporter, as far as
Yeah.
wanting to do the things that she wants to help lift the community and health and understanding and all of those things. And I just think that more people like yourself need to be heard. So I like to be able to extend to you anyone that you know or anyone that you think will want to come onto the show, and we can do that with no cost to anybody, but just so that they are able to tell their story about
Yeah.
what it means to be out there as a black woman or man to try to uplift the community. So that's an important part of what this podcast is about and what Razak is talking about as far as the minority business venture. So I really commend you for being out there as a worker in the health field that not and I know when you're talking about there's not enough representation in there because I've seen that. So I know that exists, and for you to be willing to take I don't know if it's a risk, but being able to take the stance that what, hey boss, I think I'd like to have you working around somebody that looks like me this time around. You hired? I know these applications got somebody in it that looks like me.
Right, right.
Can you please give me
Mhm.
like one, two?
Give me one. Give me.
So I think that that's one of the things I really want you to take from this is that I'm proud of you in how you're doing that. So, and I'd like to give you some final thoughts on what you think.
Well, I want to say thank you for actually having this platform, and this opportunity for people like me, like myself, to provide our story and our journey. I think that is wonderful, and I think that is very necessary to have. I also really believe that this your business is also necessary because we really don't have the knowledge, and so many people really want to take advantage. Well, we want to take advantage of those who are willing to start a business. So to uplift and give us the opportunity to tell our story, get our products out there or our journeys out there is really wonderful. And I commend you both on just giving us the opportunity to do so. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Razak. Any last questions or information you'd like to be able to add?
No, I was just I'm just seeing that you're pushing for education. You're pushing for the community. Your family. Learn something. Become something. Follow your dreams. I can't do nothing but just applaud you and sit back and listen. And learn how you have so many obstacles to overcome. You got being black in America with still existing racial barriers. You know what I mean, and discriminatory biasness against us because we're trying to get into the medical field. We still want doctors. People might see the prejudiceness that they face as they try to get into these career paths, and that might be a deterrent of why there's not so many black doctors, or even if you're a black doctor, you don't have your own practice or something. It's
Mhm.
you have to go through somebody else, and maybe it's not determined yet in the way of going about doing that. But I see that you have risen above the bar, what I mean, and solidified yourself in a business where you probably never heard of any black owned scrub business for the medical field. What I mean? So just with that, what I mean, that's an accomplishment, that's a triumph, that's a success in itself. And now that you have sort of like dug in, what I mean, you got the shop going on, you're doing a podcast. We're gonna try to get you out there as much as possible. And we just want to bring awareness that these black owned businesses are existing and they're out there for to for customers, other black community members to go out there and buy from a black owned business.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we go to the store, like I believe it was one time I was in LA before. I want to say it was off of Western or something like that, but I'm not too sure. But it was like a black owned. It was like a little African little store or something like that. And I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, this, what if Walmart or something, or the grocery store down the street was a black owned grocery store? You know what I mean? What
Right.
difference would that have make within the community? To
Right.
have, okay, so now a lot of times when it comes to jobs and stuff like that, so it's like, okay, well, you might not want to work for this. You don't work. I got a cousin, like, he doesn't want to work for other people. He wants to work for himself.
Right.
I'm in the same mindset. I mean, I don't really want to go work for somebody else when I can just create my own job, create my own opportunities by just getting out there and talking to people and networking in such of a service that I have right now. So it's
Exactly.
like, well, you see a lot of people, a lot of black young men and older men, what I
Mhm.
mean, and women and older women just don't see that it's a possibility to go work all their lives, what I mean, and just really don't get nothing for it. Because
Right.
if there's a sick day, they don't care if you're sick. They don't care what's going on, that there's a tragedy in the family. All they know is that you didn't come to work, and now they're gonna
Right.
fire you, and
Yeah.
not knowing
And
that what
it's
what the
terrible.
what damage is that going to do to you. So that now I see that in black communities, at least a lot of the people that I ran across, we have a concern about the employees. We got another black brother, we got another sister. They know the struggles we go through. So okay, you can't make it. Let me know ahead of time. I'm not going to fire you because of this. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna run down on you because of certain situations that I know arises in the black community. You know what I mean? So I just applaud you for doing what you're doing right now. And I hope you and pray for you to have continued success.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to be able to do one more time your email and everything else.
Absolutely. So you can reach me via email at care@qdwear.com. I am available online at qdwear.com. That's Q as in Queen, D as in Doctor, wear.com. Check us out. We also have special 10% off of anything that you purchase. And thank you, thank you, thank you in advance. Thank you for clicking and watching this beautiful, wonderful podcast. Thank you for just clicking and checking out the website or just seeing what it's about. Thank you for your support in advance.
I'm so happy. Like I said, once again, I want to express my gratitude for and appreciation for you coming on to the KF&JF podcast. I think you lift us up to another level of classy understanding of what it is. You're a classy woman. You got everything going for you. If you, I tell you, if nobody has swept you up yet, I'm telling you, by the time you get through this, I see why you don't want to put your phone number out there. You don't want that phone number out there, boy, because shoot, that's a nurse, man. See, not only she's got a good job, she take care of you too. So, watch out, man. So that's something to be thankful for. And again, I am so appreciative of you coming on, and I look forward to you. You having good success in your business and everything flourish the way you want it to. And I think that's going to be one of the things that I know is going to happen because you're that type of person that's that thumbs up.
Thank you so much.
So you take care, and we'll talk soon again, huh? Don't forget.
All right.
Have people subscribe.
That's right. Go ahead and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Hey everyone, let's get into these QD scrubs. It's a medical apparel that you never knew you needed. It's daily wear. So our first two collections that I have are the PRN joggers, as well as the around the clock straight leg scrub set. So the PRN joggers are the Phenom Fashion Forward scrub pants that you need in your closet, as well as the around the clock straight legs that will cover you around the clock and give you great comfort. These are stylish, comes in black and it comes in burgundy. Get a pair at qdwear.com.